Good morning, YouTube. We're up this morning to review yesterday's trades. So let's get into it. It's been a tough couple of days because I haven't had a winning trade. It's been losing or break even over the last 10 trades. I have a journal down here. This week, 8 losing trades and 2 wins. But the average win is $2, so those are break-even trades. So I haven't been able to secure any winning trades. And it's the weekend, so the platform does this funky thing where it duplicates the data. Obviously, there is no data for September 23rd on a Saturday. So let's go to the 22nd. My first trade was AXP. Now, in yesterday's video, I saw that I was cussing a bit too much. I wasn't letting it affect how I was trading, but I was cussing way too much. I should not be having that kind of reaction towards trading. And so, from here on out, no more cussing. That's just the way it is. I can't do that anymore. Also, I noticed on AXP, the slippage, the spread is terrible. Wherever I want to get filled, I get slipped like 7 cents. Let's say I want to put 5 lots on, bro. That's already losing 35 cents for it filling me like terribly. And so I had to make a decision yesterday. I'm not going to trade AXP anymore. It's not worth it for me. So you can see, bro, like it's pretty jumpy from here to here, closed here, jumped down here. The stock itself is pretty jumpy, so it's kind of funky. Now let's look at the 22nd, which starts right here. Okay. Now, my trade was a short. Let's see what I did. See the location? It opened negative. I'm pretty sure I missed this one. I also explained how there was a counter long here. Back to the MAs. On the 1 minute, it was pretty clear to see. Now let's see. So I was waiting for it to pull back to the 20, right? Smoothly declining 20. Get the signal bar right there. If it triggers under, I'm in. It barely triggers. You can see the wick. So I do answer. And I'm not sure what time I stopped out. Let me check. $10:09. Okay. So it seems that I kind of played myself. All right, let's just mark this out. I did 4 lots. Look, this bar, when you enter, you want to trigger just 1 cent below the bar. You want to enter right away. So this bar triggered under the low at 54. So that's obviously the price that I wanted, right? Now, if you take a look, this got to 50. And the price that I actually got filled at was 47. That's just a terrible fill. On 4 lots, I already lost 30 bucks, about 30 bucks. So it was kind of sad. So my fill was lower than this bar's low actually. Where should I mark that? Like here. 4 lots. Now, because I wasn't expecting this fill to be so bad, I was going to put my stop at the top of this bar, 76, 77. But I had no other choice than what to go max loss. So from 47, 4 lots, I have 25 cents on that. I obviously have to get out at 72. So instead of putting my stop at 77, I put it at 72. That's why I stop out on this bar. Had I put my stop at 77, that's an extra 5 cents on 4 lots. I would have been oversized by 20 bucks, which is oversized by 20%. That's kind of a large margin of error. 20%, that's huge. So the bad thing with that is, look, that wasn't the right thing to do. The right thing to do was to have my stop under, right? Look at price. For a second, this thing it appeared that it would go without me. Because if you look at it, down, pause, down. What if this bar went here? Next bar went here. What if price did that? And I did actually get the new low. One of two things could have happened. This or the other way. And it stops me out. And this was still very valid. You know? In hindsight, yeah, it did stop me out. It was going to stop me out here. But I couldn't have known that. And the only right thing to do was to put the stop right over the top. And I didn't even do this because I couldn't afford it. I don't want to blame the stock, but it's my fault. I should have saw the price that I got filled at and went lighter. 3 lots maybe. But yeah, again, it's my fault. So I'm going to have to give this, grade this a, on the name, let's see, pullback. Pullback. Let's start calling these the right names. So this isn't a color change, it's a red bar. On a red bar, if I have that as a signal bar, I just take it the same way I would as a color change if the low gets taken out. So, but the name of this would be like a red bar reversal, something like that. At the MA. And the position is the declining 20. Now risk, I did not have risk. So any trade that fails to honor these 3 simple basic things is not a good trade. So therefore, I lost a perfect $100, but that's because I chose max loss. But you see how things could have went wrong? It barely nicked me out at my max loss. It had 5 cents to go to the high to actually take me out. And on this little attempt right here, it did go a bit lower. Imagine it just all of a sudden drop. Bro, I would have regretted the heck out of it because I didn't have a proper stop. But if I'm doing things properly and validly and it still stops me out, there's no regret in that because I didn't do anything wrong. But since I did do something wrong, I'm gonna be pretty dang furious when the trade goes without me, when I could have still been in. So yeah, that's the first trade. that's gonna go into bad because yeah, it could have been better. I want to blame the stock, but again, the stock ain't do anything. The stock is just a stock. I'm the one that's trading the stock, so if I didn't want those issues, first of all, don't trade the stock. Event, oh shoot. Valid event. Entry. Stop should have been event stop over the event's high. At 54.77. But I was oversized. Because of the terrible slippage. Could blame the stock, but the stock is just, but the stock just is what it is. And I'm the one that chose to trade it. So it's all my fault. I should have realized the terrible fill and gone one lot lighter from what I calculated to account for that slippage. Then I could afford an actual proper stop because I wanted to respect my risk. I chose to have a max stop in the middle of the bar that ended up stopping out. That ended up nicking out before price traded a bit lower. In hindsight, price would have stopped me out anyways, but the issue here is what if price traded a lot lower? I would have been out of a trade oh shoot, hold up. I would have been out of a trade that I very much should have still been in, right? So that's the issue right there. I have to have stops that when price hit them actually properly invalidate my trade. And if I don't and my stop's just in the middle, price could end up hitting that, taking me out, and then just going without me, and I would be mad. It's not a good thing to do. Square. What the heck are these lines, bro? September 22nd. Thing has been going down, obviously, for a minute. Price opens. I short 7 lots. Let's see where. What time? 10:15. Okay, good momentum. Probably waiting for this thing to pull back. Boom, boom. Right there, definitely triggers at 10:08, 10:15. Okay, that's not my entry, I guess. My entry's at 10:15. That triggered. Okay, looks like I took this one then. After. Missed this. This is the first color change. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lots short at 10:15. Okay. Let me just run you guys through my trade first. Then there's another color change. And I'm pretty sure I had there another 3 lots or 2 lots right there. And now my average price is 45.20, and on 7 lots I could have my stop at, let's do the math, 7 lots divided by 7, 14 cents, so I could have my stop at 34 above here. Yeah, so a bit above the 20, a bit above the ad. My stop was here, I moved it down to here, or 34 here. Let's see what price does. Takes me out. Yeah. Alright. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't good. Just got no follow through. It just, I don't know. Just be like that sometimes. So 5 here in the color change. Stop was originally here. Saw this color change. Added another 2. Stop went down to here. Boom. This thing took me out. Now price was getting messy anyways. I mean, this green bar breaking it. Messy. Name. If this was to get real follow through, this thing would have went already. But you could just see price starting to put in those equal lows, like it's struggling. Name, color change, and the pullback, I guess you could call it. Pretty near the MAs. Like the initial one was here, but these ones are all close to the MAs. I was waiting for extension away to take profits. I just didn't get that. Declining 20. Risk is good. Let's see. Supposedly, this was a $75 loss. So that definitely fits within the risk criteria. It's not a bad trade, it's just no follow through. That's what it is. Sometimes you don't get follow through. The trade technically did well out and put in 2 legs, but I was still willing to bet on the downside. Just happened so it didn't end up respecting the 20. triggered the trade, but no follow through. So I just took the loss. What do I mean by whale out? There's 3 different type of whales. The base whale, you know, price corrects itself through time, waits for the 20 to catch up. The pullback whale, where it corrects itself through price and pulls back. Or the pause whale, where there's literally only like one green bar here or something, and then it drops. Basically, all of them put in 2 legs after getting arrested, and that's typically how any type of security moves. So here's the first leg, here's the pullback, here's the drop to the new low. Right there it is. But I was waiting for this to get to the 20. It was below 50%. Pullback wasn't all too violent. Triggered, missed that, so I went on the first color change here and here. This could have ended different, but I got no follow through, so it's really not my fault. Now let's look at Disney, which I shorted September 22nd. Okay, let's just get some review and run through the chart. So man, this bar right here is surging right off the 200. It's elephant in nature, it's huge. And this thing should have follow through. This thing did not get follow through. That being said, man, by the time like 3/4 of this thing got wiped out, you probably should have stopped and reversed if you were in long. Why? Because shit, look at it. No follow through, and it's just getting walked down by red. If you wanted to wait for the 200 to clear, you have a hidden right here. You'd probably have to finesse the shit out of that, but yeah. The first add, I don't know if I would have added here, but I would have wanted the price to correct a little, because this leg is pretty large. But here's a price pulling back and correcting. There's the signal bar. Boom, triggered. Should be short. Now, I missed that one, so that was pretty unfortunate. So I was waiting for the next one, which I believe I get around, what time? 10:58. Oh yeah. I did see this one, but I think I was trying to like stock AMD or something for a trade, so I was prioritizing that over this, even though this did set up. I do remember. Oh, right on the 20, another pullback. Triggers under the low, and triggers. Here's an ad, and yeah, thing goes nicely, to say the least. Okay, so I noticed this is good momentum, so I'm waiting on the next pullback. Gentle. This is pretty. Triggers under the low. Triggers. Goes a bit. Not enough for me to take profit or anything. My stop's over the top, remember? Look how your stop is over the top of the event every time. And pretty sure that wicked me out. My stop was at 34. This hit 35. Yeah. That took me out for sure. I mean, thing dropped even lower. Frick, but couldn't have known. But look, y'all, just from this chart, y'all can see how trading could be profitable. Because here, when you answer on this one, but this means you have to take every single trade that price gives you. Because when you happen to take the one that doesn't go, but you don't take the ones that win, I mean, you couldn't have known, but that's why you have to take every single trade for the probability to not be skewed. Because if you took this, you're making 1, 2, let's just say 3 R's, right? On this one, you're making 1, 2, 3, 4. So in these, you just made 7 R's. Now on this, you lose 1. Alright? Because it barely takes you out, makes you out. But that's okay, because you just made 7, and then on this final one, you lost 1. So you're up overall 6. See how that's a profitable system? It can make sense. Let's mark this up. I went 6 slots. Oh, this was the one. Okay. I remember what happened here. So this was the one where, what time was this? 11? Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is what I want to say I did. So I missed an ad because, again, it dropped pretty quick and I didn't get filled the way that I wanted to get filled. So this is what happened. This triggers at 24 under the low, but on this lot I got filled at 22. So I was waiting for price to fluctuate back to 24 so I could get the fill there, but it never did. So I was trying to find a way where I could add. So on the 5 minute, you also have an entry off of the 8. So what did I do? Right here under the bar, I enter. But I obviously can't put on the same size. This one I calculated. My entry should have been at 24, stop at 34. That's a 10-cent stop. $100 risk unit, you could put 10 lots on that. But I couldn't do that because price is already gone without me. So under this at 18, but my entries got filled at 17. So I put another like 6 slots on there because, well, I couldn't afford, you know, let's just say I have one here on this bar from here, the earlier entry, and then I actually waited for this to trigger on the 5 minute. Stop is over the top of this bar, okay, at 82.34, 1 cent above, because the pivot high should be respected. It was respected perfectly here, no doubt, no issue. Perfectly here as well, and then drop. But the one I answered on happens to be the one that would be the loser because this one hit 35 on the dot. 35. I mean, that's past where my stop was supposed to be. I was supposed to get out at 34. That's where I got out. Price barely takes me out, bro. Because you can see what it does later as it goes sideways and then drops. Which I guess I got the direction right, but man, it doesn't feel so good to get stopped out just for price to go, you know? That happens so much, so many times. That's just how trading works. Oh shit. Forgot to write it down. Name, pullback color change, position, 2 minute, 20, 5 minute declining 8. And well, you can see price here was respecting all MAs. Then on this little base right here, it respects the 8. So you could expect for the next one to ideally respect the 8, which it kind of is questionable, bro, because it gone flat, making a base. Which, I mean, your entries out of the bases here on the breakout. I wasn't even there to take that trade, so. This was minus 102. Wasn't the best. I mean, not wasn't the best, it's just the follow through, man. And because I missed all of the actual winning trades, I ended up net losing. That's why you gotta take every trade that triggers. The shorts before this one. What the freak is this? Oh. The shorts before this one worked perfectly fine and got beautiful follow through. But it just happened so that the one I enter on barely follows through, then gets nicked out, and price gets sloppy. That emphasizes the importance of taking every valid trade that comes through, because if you don't, the probability will be skewed. Just from this chart, you could see that 2 out of 3 pullback color changes worked and would have been winners. But because I ended up taking the last one, the one that didn't work, my stats are telling me the probability of the pullback color change is 100% losing, because I only took one and that one was losing. Yeah. Again, did the calculations right. Off this one, 3 off this one, 4 hours, 7 hours. And here, if you tried it again, I mean, it triggered, right? It's the same setup as these. Off the 20, off the 20, off the 20, it triggered. Hello, price did drop. But it just came up just enough, sloppy enough to take you out, and then give you the follow through like here. That's why you gotta take every trade. Simple. Now let's see. S-Bucks, the last 2 trades on S-Bucks. Let's go with you. The 22nd. Okay. This one may have been a bit bullshit, to be honest. But let's look. Let's look how I justified this trade. This was later. So let's look at the higher time frame. Beautiful downtrend, okay. Breaks up. Pulls back. Able to catch this 8. Right? There's an entry right there. On the 5, beautiful. See what it does. Drops. Does it trigger there at the 5? It does. Right off that 20. A beautiful pullback. Boom. Does this go? Goes kind of sideways. Okay. Well, in hindsight, it didn't get much follow through. It didn't even get you a new high to take profit. So whatever. But you know, what did I realize on these high time frames? Triggered along here. Triggered along here. Now I missed that, right? But my bias is long because like it just triggered longs on both higher time frames. So on the 15-minute, this is what I'm looking for. For price to come back and, you know, align with the higher time frame. So at first you got a bit sloppy, right? Got a bit sloppy. Did break the 2-minute down uptrend, but I'm waiting for price now to come back above and show that it respects and aligns with the higher time frame trend. Now, I did first try to take a trade off the 8. Price is coming through, right? Boom. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. Price to get back above the MAs. Now I'm looking for an entry, so I'm waiting for a pullback. Boom. 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 Triggers over the top. Okay, I'll take that. I go with, let's see, 1,000 shares right there, so that's 10 lots. Let's see what happens to that. I'm pretty sure it failed. Got a little push right there. Nothing crazy. I mean, I was expecting this high to get taken out, so yeah, it's a $90 stock. I'm waiting for 50 cents. My entry's at 23. Like, come on, go to 73. And this new high isn't even 40. That's like less than 20 cents. Come on, that's like nothing. And yeah, thing stops me out. $10 with the stop here, which gets stopped out. Name, pullback color change, position, rising 8, risk, good. I don't know what. On the 2-minute, it just looks like bullshit, but I was just trying to find an entry on the 2-minute that would make sense to join this uptrend. Because it triggered here, so I'm looking for the 2-minute to align. And the very first time that I see it aligns is, well, not here yet because it's still below the 20. Not here because, I mean, I don't really see an entry. Unless you count this, but I don't really like it taking those. I like taking the pullback to support. You get like a baby tail bar right here, a little base right here, and yeah, it most definitely triggers. Price traded above, it just didn't follow through. Now the issue with that is though, it looks sloppy on the 2-minute. Price is going above, below, above. It's just sloppy, you know. So I don't know what to think. Was I valid in taking that trade? There's logic to it. Was it the best though? No, because fuck. Hold on. I want to get this chart too. Not gonna say it's totally a bad trade, it's just I'm gonna be nitpicky and find out why. What was going against me, you know? Time of day, it was getting a bit later on a Friday. Else, 2 minute was sloppy, even though I liked the look of the 5 and 15. Both were bullish. My entry idea was to catch the first move of the 2 minute, and the first time I tried was off the rising 8, but clearly there was no momentum to fire up a trend. So it looks like I entered on some BS on the 2 minute chart because it wasn't beautiful in a line yet. But I guess that's what happens when you try to catch the first move. And that's truthfully what it is. I mean, price comes up, you try to catch the first move comes there. If the first move doesn't follow through, it's just gonna look sloppy. And that's what happened. And I'm pretty sure I tried this again because, bro, it gave me a tail bar on the 20 this time. And it triggered. And it stopped out. I'm pretty sure. 12 o'clock. Yep. And man, I thought I got wicked the frick out because this was another tail. Did I? That shit kept going down. But this was basically my second attempt for a trade that should have went in alignment with the higher time frame. I mean, I had to try it because it triggered, man. This one was 5 lots. Stop under. I stopped out there. Name. 20 MA halt. This one's off the 20 instead of the 8. Position 20. And it's called the 20 MA halt because it's not quite rising yet. It's the first test of the MA, you know? Boom. Hasn't been above the MA. Boom. Has to pull back. Will this be the first time that it holds it? No, obviously not. Even though it did trigger, it did, but not enough to hold it. So it was a failed 20 MA halt. Risk was good. Minus $50, and I'm pretty sure that's a full day's lost. Minus 397 yesterday. wasn't really an issue with this. Just it was a second attempt, and that one didn't go either. That's part of my rules, is to give a trade a second chance. Give a trade idea a second chance if it's still valid. It's part of my rules and plan to give a trade idea a second attempt if it's still valid and triggers. This dropped. Price dropped to the 20 MA and triggered a tail bar. Plan to give a trade idea a second attempt if it's still valid and triggers. To give a trade idea a second attempt. To give a trade idea a second attempt after a failed first attempt. If it's still valid and triggers. Price dropped to the 20 MA and triggered a tail bar. So I had to give it a try off the 20 MA this time. And well, it dropped through. Got no follow through. In another world, the outcome would have been that would have been that price caught the 8 or 20 for the first time. And price follows through smoothly. And I would be rich if that was the case every time. But it's not. And this was one of the failed times. So the best thing I could do is enforce great risk management. And I did that perfectly. So yeah guys, that was this week's trades. A bit tough, still a lot of lessons to learn, but I'm noticing myself take just better trades, and the one thing I gotta do is trade management, stop adjustments, profit taking. But right now my entries, they're getting pretty crisp. Like, I'm taking pretty good entries, it's not some bullshit. And after that, what do I have to do? Take profits correctly and with some finesse, and stop adjust properly and validly so that my stop isn't in the middle of stupid location. So that's, once I could master those parts, I'm profitable. I mean, I'm already profitable, It's a mindset thing. You gotta think it. Just always think it. And trading is my passion, and it's something I'm never gonna give up. Like, I love this way too much to give up right now. Put too much time in it to give up now. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna get it one day, for sure. So thank you guys. Yeah. Just gotta keep improving. And I gotta take every single trade too. Go back to the charts, because let's see how UL did. UAL, did it drop? Yeah, kind of did. Let's see. So I did recognize on the 15. Oh shoot. Where was it? Price dropped, right? Okay. That's giving us bearish bias. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Oh, does this trigger under? It does. Now I saw that, but I didn't take that. That's why I gotta take it, because that shit was a winner. Just get a low, lower low. I mean, it came back to the whole number around there. It did there. Kind of stalled out, but not as beautiful a follow through as you would probably want, because these are tiny bars. You probably want bars like this in an ideal world, but this was not a loser. At least you're winning. Let's see, that's like at least 2 R's. One, yeah, at least 2 R's. So yeah, we'll get there. Promise I'll get there. Thank you guys.